My dear Frodo, you asked me once if I had told you everything there was to know about my adventures.
Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire
Well, I can
Bueno as
honestly
we're
say I have told you
transported
the
to
truth.
Middle-earth as we attend the
I
royal
may not have
film
told you
performance
all
of
of it.
The Hobbit, an
Bilbo
unexpected
Baggins.
journey.
I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure. Far to the east, over ranges and rivers, lies a single solitary peak. The dwarves are determined to reclaim their homeland.
Yeah, if I said to you, Andy's Flying Circus, what
Yes.
do you
Oh, well, Andy's Flying Circus was the nickname for the second unit. And it was coined by Belinda Lee Hope, who was our production coordinator, who made T-shirts saying Andy's Flying Circus. And that was it was the rock and roll unit. Second unit was the rock and roll unit. We had great fun, a wonderful collaborative team, and we shot, for 200 days, some pretty hardcore stuff. Lots of aerials, battle sequences. Obviously working with the cast. It was great.
And how have you evolved as an artist from being a director?
When you're learning from someone like Peter Jackson, who is such a visionary and actually beyond anything really understands the true nature of storytelling, and even when you're working on as big a canvas as this and a huge universe as this, it's actually all about the human condition and all about the emotional content of these characters pitted against that world. So that's, I think, the biggest clue to directing is support the performance with the camera, and that's what he does, to the nth degree, really.
I like visitors as much as the next Hobbit. But I do like to know them before they come. Visiting.
Mr. Baggins? At your service.
When you're working with a director like Peter, who knows the material inside out, is that a huge benefit to you?
It is. What it is, you're invited onto a team by somebody like Peter, and that is just a real honour. But working with somebody like Peter creates a big ensemble feeling, not just amongst the cast, but the whole crew, and it goes right down. So when you're arriving at work at 4 o'clock in the morning, you're met with smiles from people that are happy to be there and happy to be, even though it's 4:30 in the morning, I mean, that says something, that goes through the whole, and that's like 600-700 people. It is a really, really, it's an amazing thing to have that kind of, it's because he is it's because at the end he is an artist. And that's what it's all about. He is a creative artist. He's a passionate artist. And that feeling floats right down. Everybody's happy to be in work, happy to be there. It's great.
With regards to your character as well, what was it the characteristics that you felt brought to the team, to the ensemble?
Oh, well, what was fun was we were all, when we first introduced to our characters, mine had an axe in my head, and we're all given an opportunity right then and there to actually input on how our journey might go through the film. And so we decided with Bifur that he would only speak in Kuzdal, which is ancient Dwarvish, and not many people understand him. And also, he's a bit zoned out. He's kind of like Ozzy Osbourne or something. We call him the rock and roll dwarf because he kind of just, he's not quite there all of the time. But
it's a source of amusement.
Oh, it is. It's a lot of fun, I mean, it's great. So we all discovered our own journeys and we got to input on that. And I got to play one of the trolls too, which was an amazing thing,
It's like going back to theatre.
Oh, no, it totally was. And also, we spent 2 months training, so it was actually like going back to drama school, because we were doing stunt fighting and horse riding and dwarf movement. And that was hilarious, actually.
I'm surrounded by dwarves. What are they doing here?
Oh, they're quite a merry gathering.
So, this is the Hobbit.
You asked me to find the 14th member of this company, and I have chosen Mr. Baggins.
Me? No.
Hobbits can pass unseen by most if they choose, which gives us a distinct advantage.
So Peter had you in mind for the role. What did that mean to you?
It meant everything to me. I mean, it means that I'm able to do all this. He was adamant about me for some reason.
Seize this chance to take back Erebor!
Here, Mr. Bilbo, where are you off to?
I'm going on an adventure!
When you first read the script, what was it about Bofur that resonated with you?
Well, I mean, it was a work in progress, really, the script. I mean, it changed a lot as we developed the characters, and there's a lot more to come in 2 and 3. I liked him. I thought he was playful. I thought he was optimistic. I thought he was a bit of a laugh. I think he liked to drink and a fight, and so it seemed like I could do that.
Why don't we have a game of riddles?
And if it loses, what then? Well, if it loses, precious, then we eat it. If Baggins loses, we eat it whole.
Fair enough.
I imagine you got to work on some marvellous locations, but I presume as well, was there a lot of green screen involved?
Loads of green screen.
How does that, is that a process you enjoy? Does that allow you as an actor to allow your imagination to go wild?
Yeah, I mean, this is my first movie, so I've always done theatre before, and yeah, I'm used to not having the budget to have the prop there and bullshit my way through it. So it was really easy for me to pretend that stuff was there. Yeah, when I went in the cinema and actually saw what they did with it, I was blown away, you know. But yeah, I was really fine with the green screen. I really enjoyed it.
Did you have to kind of rein your performance in, because normally as a theatre actor you have to project to an audience?
I guess. But Pete was great for that. He would just say less or more, Adam, please. You know. You can't second guess him, really. He would, and also they had great monitors on set, so you could just have a little cheeky look and see if your performance was landing. But yeah, he knows what he wants. He's made the decision before we've even got to set, so he works it out before you do.
So this is your purpose, to enter the mountain.
What of it?
There are some who would not deem it wise.
Well, I mean, the first thing was, quite often, especially if we're on location, we'd have quite an early call, like we'd get in maybe 4:30 in the morning. I'm not the best that time of the morning. You need to ask Jed Brophy about that, because he's the world's happiest man at 4 o'clock in the morning. And we'd sit there, and maybe it would take an hour and a half to 2 hours to get the prosthetics on, and then we'd have a bit of breakfast, and then we'd get our hair on, and then we'd sit down, and then we'd start to slowly get changed into our costume. And we could be sitting around for a little while. I mean, that's just the nature of shooting with 13 dwarves and a whole lot of other characters.
And do you work with the hair and makeup beforehand to work out how it all works before you actually go to shoot?
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the design was already done. I think they based the designs on what we looked like, which was fantastic. And, we could have input here and there. But, I mean, when you've got such an incredible design team, and you've got, where to workshop and the prosthetics and the hair and makeup people that we work with, I mean, you just pretty much, you're in awe, and I just leave it to them, and I turn up and they put it on and it looks fantastic.
A dark power has found a way back into the world.
Well, it's the ultimate quest, and to be part of Tolkien's legacy is pretty special too, eh?
And it's a Peter Jackson movie. I mean, that doesn't come along that often.
You'd be a fool to say no to that one,
Yeah, and you'd be a fool to turn up on set and not have done your work as well.
Sure. And you're working with obviously a director who's so passionate as well. Does that sort of come down to you guys as well, and add that extra enthusiasm for you to want to give so much more too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Peter, he really drives the movie. He's got a fantastic energy. He's very humble, very, very modest guy about his talent and stuff. But when he walks on set, everyone wants to bring their game,
And Peter has this ability to make something on such an epic scale feel much more intimate. Like you really don't feel like you're working on this massive movie. You feel like it's just between you and him.
It's
great,
really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mithrandir, why the halfling?
Why Bilbo Baggins? Perhaps it is because I'm afraid. And it gives me courage.
It's Gandalf the Grey. He's the man with the big pointy hat who smokes and drinks and likes fun and lets off fireworks. So there's all that happening. And but also he's a man who's got to keep an eye on Middle-earth and make sure... He's not a man, a wizard, sorry. To make sure that things aren't getting out of control. And no, it's a bit more of the same. And great joy to be back with Peter Jackson.
I will take each and every one of these dwarves over the mightiest army.
When you go back and think about your grandfather's books, you must be very proud to...
Oh, enormously. Enormously. And certainly when you come to an event like this, where you see the Hobbit everywhere and Tolkien's name, it fills you with a great deal of pride. Yeah.
And has Sir Peter been very sensitive to work with you, with the family, to maintain the essence of it?
Well, there's no working relationship there, but Peter anyway is very sensitive because he's a fan of Tolkien and a fan of the works. And I think it could only be that way. I think if you come from a fan point of view, then you're going to make them as best and as loyally as possible. So, and that's what Peter and the whole crew have done.
Loyalty, honour, a willing heart. I can ask no more than that.
Well, that's it from Premier Scenes. We were able to go there and back again. I'm Claire Bueno, and we'll see you next time.
Home is now behind you. The world is ahead.
Well, that could have been worse.